Yo, what's going on, guys? Today, I was going to be reviewing Those Who Wish Me Dead, which is on HBO Max, and I'm actually really surprised with this movie. My fiance randomly wanted to watch this, so I was like, all right, sure. I guess we'll watch something new. And it turned out to be something that I actually really enjoyed. Like, I really like this movie. Gameplay in the background is some Guild Wars 2. Just figured I'd just put something in the background so I don't get copyright claims. And of course, before we start this, massive spoilers in this. So if you haven't seen the movie, I definitely recommend you watch it. It's really good. I enjoyed it a lot, and I usually don't like a lot of things. So, so yeah, I think this is a good movie. It's definitely worth watching. It was really good acting from everybody on the cast. Especially what was really surprising was the kid Connor, which it's kind of interesting that his name is Connor and he's the one that's running from people trying to kill him the whole time. I mean, Terminator. But anyway, like, he was actually pretty good. I was really surprised, and we don't really see too many kid actors that do a good job like this, and he did good, you know? And of course, getting awesome acting from Angelina. We got John. You also got Aiden that plays the bad guy, as well as Beast. He's always going to be known as Beast for me. Really good acting from everybody. I was really surprised to see Tyler Perry in it. Like, it was just random. Like, I was like, wait, isn't that Tyler Perry right there? Like, I don't know. It was just, it seemed kind of random, but he was in there too for like 2 seconds. But with the kid, the only thing that just kind of threw me off in the beginning is that he was kind of an asshole in the beginning. And it was like, oh man, we're going to go down this direction. But then he started warming up and started getting a little bit better. Angelina's character was awesome. Like, she was like funny and, you know, it seemed kind of careless, and she was just doing her own thing, living her life. Like, it just, like, her character was really well built. It was awesome the way they put that together, the script and everything. And of course, she's always very versatile as an actress. So she's just an overall badass in whatever movie she pops up in. So that's why I kind of had my hopes a little high. She's usually in good movies. So, and then of course, John, or AKA Shane, he was awesome in this movie too. It's too bad he didn't really have too many action scenes in this. It's all right. It is what it is. I mean, he still was a great actor. He still did it, you know, his thing to kind of bring that emotion, and he's always like really good with that. So it was nice to see him in this movie too. And then the two bad guys, the main two bad guys that we were seeing the whole time, which was basically Beast and also Aiden, they were very believable as villains, and, you know, their military training and all that stuff that they were doing, it always made me wonder, like, you know, where did they come from and what's going on? And I was hoping to get these answers, but I never did. So, like, that's the only thing that kind of threw me off with this film. But they did really awesome in the movie, and I really liked the whole concept behind all this and the way that everything was just kind of played out. This movie is very smart. So, like, there's a lot of moments where I'm thinking in my head, oh, this character should be doing this, and then the character does it, and I'm like, okay, that's awesome. Especially with the action scenes, because there was a lot of moments where, you know, they're getting attacked, or maybe they're thinking about attacking, or, you know, stuff like that. It really makes you think, like, if I was living in that situation, what would I do? And the characters, for the most part, were doing all the things that I thought that they should do. So that's why I really like the way this was put together. Especially, for example, the part where Shane, he's trying to track down the kid, and these guys have him at gunpoint, and, you know, like, he's just kind of being dragged along through this whole thing, and he decides to cover up one of the tracks, and they notice that, so they start, like, you know, threatening him to basically get him to, you know, get back on the job. He decides to kind of combat that and then just say, you know what, like, fuck it. If you guys gonna kill me, then go ahead and kill me then. Fuck it. And they just kept, like, towing with him until he attacked, and then they just kind of, like, you know, they tried to threaten his wife at that point. So, like, you know, so it eventually got to the point where, you know, I just felt like that was really smart the way they put that together, because he definitely knew that he was gonna get killed at the end of finding the kid. So he wanted to try as best as he could to, like, steer away, but the bad guys were also very smart in their way to keep things on track. So, like, I really like the way this was put together. So it added that extra tension. And also, Shane's wife, was a complete badass. Like, she surprised me because I wasn't expecting her to do anything crazy. I thought she was just gonna play victim and then just be on the ground and like, oh my god. But she ended up fighting back, and then she grabbed the gun and started, trying to fight back too. And then eventually she even hunted down the guys to go like find her husband, and then on horseback, by the way, because she had to be that much of a badass. And the only downside with this whole situation and what she did was that she decided to shoot after they already finished, like, unloading all their rounds into the tower. So like it just felt like, she could have waited for a better opportunity to get it at somebody. But at least it turns around and eventually she kills somebody. So at least it works out. So she keeps her badassness up all the way to the end. So that's good. But yeah, I was really surprised by that. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was expecting her to just, I don't know, die, I guess, because that's usually what they do in movies like this. Now I just got to talk about the bad parts. In the beginning, the movie was kind of confusing because it separated everything into 3 different story arcs. So we were trying to follow 3 different stories. The story of Angelina, where she's going through this post-traumatic syndrome or whatever it is, PTSD, I think it's called. Yeah, PTSD. She's going through all that because of something that happened in her past with the firefighting. So she's just getting back to work, and she's constantly thinking about that. So she's losing her mind, basically. They spend too much time on that part. So like I just felt like it was dragged on too much. I got the point, from the first 10 seconds, but it is what it is with that. And then they had the other stories. So they're following the kid and his father. And his father was like the main character for like 2 seconds there until he got killed off. So like then from there, the son was basically just carrying on the information that the father found that's, compromising and getting everybody killed that knows about it. So he tries to go off on his own. Then there's also the story of Shane, where he's like, a cop and doing his copy things and whatever, so basically these 3 different stories that just kind of came out of like, they're trying to cover too many things at the same time. And of course, this is a very limited movie. I think it was only an hour. Oh, it was an hour and 40 minutes. So it wasn't a super long movie, but at the same time, I feel like they kind of rushed it a little bit just to kind of get these stories to come together and eventually make sense. So it kind of threw me off with that whole thing in the beginning. Then there was a lot of unrealistic moments. Like, for example, when Angelina and Connor, they're trying to survive that firestorm, and they go in the water and they decide to kind of like just kind of breaststroke, I guess it's called, like when you go on your back or whatever. And they try to breathe out of the top, and I'm like, wouldn't they be breathing like really like fire smoke or something? Like it would probably kill them just from breathing in the smoke. So I just didn't see that as very realistic, especially when you look at the scene of you got Shane and his wife up on the top of the tower, and they have like, the equipment. So they have like the fire breathing ventilators and stuff on. So like during that same scene, you're seeing both of those things, and you're like, wait, but shouldn't Angelina be breathing some, real air too? I mean, that just didn't seem like it would work. And then when the car like flies down off the edge of the cliff and then it smashes into like rock or whatever, you would think that their airbags would deploy or something, and nothing happens. So like that threw me off too. And then the bad guys having like unlimited ammo. They were like spraying like crazy. Everything. They were shooting so much shit that you would think that they had like a duffel bag filled with like magazines like crazy, like, and they didn't have anything. They were just with jackets on, and that's it. So how much ammo could they possibly have had holding on them to be able to just keep shooting like that? I know it's just a movie, but still, like I think about these things. And then the worst part of all, the ending sucked ass. They didn't cover anything. They didn't answer any questions. Who the hell was Tyler Perry, and what organization was he a part of? Did they even catch him, or even find the people that were involved in this whole conspiracy? What happened to the kid? Did he land up getting? Did Angelina take him in and become his foster mom? Like, or did he end up moving someplace else a year down the line? Like, what happened with that? And also, did Shane die? Because, like, I mean, the wife kind of hinted that, you know, it's too late, don't even worry, when they tried to get an air evac, but he still got an air evac. So, like, is he still alive or is he not? Like, you know, so these are questions that I'm just kind of thinking about. I'm like, what happened? Or, I mean, I guess they're trying to work on some kind of sequel and they're trying to set it up for that, but it just kind of blows because, like, it didn't really answer any questions that we should have seen the answer to. Overall, though, I thought this was a really good movie. I think it's definitely worth watching, especially since it's on HBO Max. Like, there's so much stuff on there right now. It's really worth subscribing to. And, like, with this, I just found it to be, like I said before, just a really smart film. There was a lot of moments where I was just like, yeah, they did that right. All right, they were thinking about that. You know, like, so it made me care more about what was happening, and it made me care more about the characters in it too, because their writing was actually really well done. So overall, I think if I was going to give this out of a 10, I would give this a 8. Because I actually really enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind watching it again sometime. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And leave a thumbs up if you liked the video. Thumbs down if you didn't. And I will see you guys on the next one. All right? Later, guys.